Hey everybody, my name is JJ. You're watching Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust. Today we're going to talk about California, specifically Southern California, and how overpriced the market is here. The housing market is still very overpriced. And we're going to talk about payment to income ratios here in Southern California. Now I'm in Riverside right now, and behind me you can see some beautiful mountains. If you've ever driven from Southern California to Las Vegas, you've driven through those mountains, likely on the 15 freeway. So it's a nice view up here today. And of course the weather is beautiful. The weather in California, Southern California especially, is either magnificent or unusual. So if it's not magnificent, it's usually unusual weather in Southern California. But let's talk about how overpriced the market really is. Now we've been watching the housing market for a long time and witnessing recently some price corrections. Now the peak for most cities was in between May and July of 2022. And since then we've seen some pretty nice corrections in San Diego, where I live, for example. We've seen the price come down about 10%, which when you look at it was from about $1 million down to about $900,000. So still very overpriced. Even as of today, we're going to talk about how overpriced they are. Now today, the topic of being overpriced, we're going to look at median incomes versus the median home price for people that have to finance their home. So if you're a cash buyer, this will not apply to you. But most home purchases right now are still done through financing. So when you look at the high mortgage rates and the median payment on a home compared to the incomes in these areas, so the four most overpriced cities and areas in the United States right now, in the entire country, is right here in Southern California. The number one overpriced is still the Bay Area, with a mortgage payment of about 68% compared to the income in that area. Okay, the next most overpriced area is Los Angeles, with a mortgage payment right at about 65%. The next one is San Diego. It's the third most overpriced in the nation, the San Diego area, and that's about 64%, if I remember correctly. I just looked at the chart here. I don't have it in front of me, but it's really close to that, 64%. So the median income maker in San Diego area is going to be paying about 64% of their income to pay for the mortgage payment for a home that's financed. And the fourth most expensive area in the entire United States is right here in Riverside, where I'm at, where it's about 62% of your income is going to go towards your mortgage payment when financing a home. So when we're talking about those type of payment to income ratios, Southern California is very overpriced. Now let's go out to a national level here, nationwide. If we look at the year 2022, we see that in the first half of 2022, only 1% of all markets saw a price decline. Now in the second half of 2022, over 90% of markets in the U.S. saw a price decline. That's a negative price growth or price drop. All right. So this correction in the housing market is just getting started, and unless something crazy happens with mortgage rates, where rates drop back down, you're going to continue to see home prices correct. The Fed's not talking about any rate cuts. In fact, they're talking about more rate hikes in order to help fight inflation. Now keep in mind also that the mortgage rate this time 1 year ago was only about 4%, the average 30-year mortgage rate. So really we haven't seen the full impact of higher mortgage rates yet. And we've already seen price corrections in 90% of markets here in the U.S. And we're only about a year into as home prices, or we're only about a year into mortgage rates being 4% plus. The housing market takes a long time to play out, so we've got a lot of price corrections to go. So we're going to keep an eye on the housing market for you right here on this channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you like these updates, and come back for more. We'll leave you with a nice view here of the mountains here in Riverside, California. It's a little bit of snowpack up there on the top of the mountains. You really can't see it too well because of the clouds. All right, hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning into this report. Bye for now.